Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome, whether it's morning, afternoon, middle of the night, or just about tea time. Thanks for all showing up today. We appreciate you. Now, we're waiting for our friend Tom, who has actually just popped in. And there we go. Hey, what's going on, everyone?
I was waiting for the link.
Oh, I sent it to you.
I know, but it was like way up in the thing. I had to scroll up. I didn't know where the fuck it was at.
Oh, I'm a terrible person. What an awful host. Anyway, thanks for being here, Tom. Good to see you, friend. And hello, Mr. Steeg. How are you today?
I'm doing quite well, even if I didn't have to scroll.
Oh, all right. Well, there. That's better. Okay, well.
You're part of the reason I had to scroll, you dirty mofo.
Hey, you know, I put together a little chat group so we could coordinate a little bit better. So in the future, I will send the link 5 or 6 times.
So what are we talking about? Hookers?
Yes, that and Gremlins. Actually, we're going to get to some Gremlins here in a little bit, but let's say hi to everybody who showed up to watch us and avoid most of the real world, at least for a while. We have the ever lovely Tina Bojan. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. Look who it is. It's Scott from Sporkin' News Podcast, who I doubt is actually back. He's probably still asleep. We have our amazing friend in Trinoculus P, who's gonna just avoid the rigmarole of everyday life and join us here for a little entertainment. So we hope we can fulfill that. We have Miss Martin Muses. Hello there. Good to see you. Thank you so very much for making it possible for me to live stream, because without you, I don't know that I'd be doing this on a regular basis. And then we have M. Dastardly, who is putting together a channel all of their own. So be sure to check out M. Dastardly as things start to come together over there. We have the amazing and very supportive Nano Reaper. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Many of you have become members. I just want to say thank you so very much. And to that end, we have a new member, an Accidental Tourist. Thank you for joining us here. I really appreciate it. The membership thing is really great. It's kind of crazy. I don't know what to say. And one of our favorite people in the whole universe got monetized, Lorena Creole, who sends us a super sticker for 99 cents. I believe that's a Doomicorn, most likely, which I absolutely think is great as well. I'm a big fan of those. I will say doom, da-doom, doom, doom. And someday I will get a nice clean recording of Mary doing that, and then I will never have to do that again. Accidental Tourist, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. Diablo Dame, happy Tuesday, all. Well, happy Tuesday to you, and thank you also for being a member. You guys, I can't say enough. Parrothead is here. Ghost Bear time. Nah, I was just a little bit late. The problem is that Steeg and I get talking backstage, and if Tom doesn't show up, we end up not realizing that we're supposed to start the show. And Tom was only about 30 seconds late, so it wasn't that big a deal.
I was really waiting for a link, and I'm like, then I just rolled up, and I'm like, oh, there's the link.
It's all my fault. I agree.
It's my fault for just sitting there staring at a thing here.
It's Tom's fault.
Okay, I'll let it be Tom's fault.
Let me take this one this time, because you're not going to get another one, motherfucker.
I have a monocle on it.
Okay, well, yeah, having that ankle monitor on Tom really does help us keep track of him, though, so we always know where he's at.
Hey. That's only supposed to be on for another 3 weeks.
Theme park casual is here. Hey, all.
Then
Hey,
I'm on
theme park
parole.
casual. Well, and yeah. Well, I'm on a roll. So, Illuvrion and Makara is here. Hail, having a good day here in flyover country. Yeah, I am also in flyover country, only for a few more days, and then I'm flying over most of the country myself, headed over to Walt Disney World to share with each and every one of you the decorations and at the hotels and the theme parks for a couple 3 days, and then hopefully I'll be headed to Vegas. Although those plans seem to be falling apart of late. So we'll see if that actually ends up happening where I can actually go and meet up with everybody. But I'm going to try. Hey, Dweez, thanks for showing up. Appreciate you being here. We got one of our favorite friends, Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast. Hail, my friend. Machiny90 is out there modding for us. Thanks, Machiny. Appreciate it. Robert Hammer says, haha, nice. I think that was in reference to the Calliope music that we started off with and the countdown that I did for fun. I thought that was fun.
I recognized
Miss.
it.
Yeah?
It's the song Leland Palmer sings on Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I dotes and dozy dotes and little lambs a divey. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, thank you for joining us, Lady Mist. We appreciate you having you here today. We have Brutal Morningwood. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, thanks for being here, Brutal Morningwood. So, well, Keck showed up.
You sound very exciting to have Brutal Morningwood.
Hey, everybody at my age having that, that'd be a good thing. Keck says howdy to everybody, and so does David Blair. David Blair, welcome. Thank you for being here today. Yeah, Stieg looks great with a monocle. I think that just sets off that outfit very well. What do you think, Stieg?
Yeah, sure.
French car company salesmen are rude. That is all. Wow. Okay, I wish I had more context for that, but I absolutely believe you. Let's see. We've got no, not a Gremlins reboot. Actually, we'll talk a little bit about that. I think Tom has some insight into that as well. Naughty Monkey Wrath. Hey, y'all, how's friends? Well, it's going pretty well so far, I think. Hugh Photographer says hello from London. I say hello to you, my friend. Good to see you. We have Karen Prime here. Namaskaram, people. Yes. Yeah. Good to see you. Namaste for us, though. We've got Lorena Creole headed back to work, but at least she'll probably be lurking and working, so I appreciate that so very much. What else? My goodness, you guys. This is so much fun. And Hugh Photographer became a member. Well, thank you so very much for joining the membership. I do appreciate that. Man, I got more names to add to those credits. I'm actually just finished rendering. So here towards the end of the show, we'll run the show credits, and those of you who become members.
There's Brutal Morningwood and all kinds of other members flowing in.
Oh, I know. I love it. So great. You guys, I really do appreciate you all. I hope you really know that. So big hugs to the chat. Now you're off to eat dinner. All right. Well, thanks for popping in, Karen Prime. I hope you're able to join us again in just a little bit. And again, like I said, Hugh Photographer, thank you for becoming a member. We have Chris the Bliss here saying, hail all. Great stream with comics yesterday, CC. Yeah, I had so much fun. I know Tom is busier than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs on Monday nights between the tomfoolery that he did, which he did invite me to, and and then hosting the ladies over on Toxic Femme. But Comics and I had a lot of fun going into the late evening yesterday with Sir Talks a lot. Even Stieg stopped by in the chat for a little bit, and author Stephen Walton was there too. It was a really fun stream. If you guys get a chance, go check out not only Comics' old channel, Comics Division, but check out his new channel too, the Great Reset. That one, I think it's linked off of his main channel, and that he just launched it. He already has over 300 subs, so he's starting to build that up pretty well as well. So that's great, and he's a great creator. Zacharot's here. Hey, what's going on, Zacharot? Howdy. Lorena, thank you for becoming a member. You're awesome. Can't wait to join your channel as well. I really do appreciate it. Guys, check out Lorena's stuff, man. It's better and better every day. She did a great interview with Tom this morning. I love the lunch table. Tom, you come across like, a nice guy on those types of things.
I know. I'm really good at hiding it, ain't I?
Yeah. Really great.
I'm an asshole.
With the monocle, Stieg looks like a young Colonel Wilhelm Klink.
No, I'm a General Kenobi.
General Kenobi. The gang's all here. Yes, we are. And to that end, I'm going to say lovely things to Pumpkins for everyone, Ken Jack Bem. Thanks for popping in. He says, Lady Miss, greetings and salutations from Northern California. I love that area. I love wine country. I just wish that there weren't so many crazy people in Northern California. So now we are off and running. Oh, wait a second. Naughty Monkey Wrath says, I have discovered something. Once you get subbed to over 80 channels, there isn't enough time in the day or entering Lark mode. Oh, I know, absolutely. I try to check out as many of the 200 and I think 82 or something like that now channels that I follow. We're getting darn close to 300 at this point. And, there are times when I don't get to a channel every, for a week. And I feel bad because I like to make sure I cover my bases and get a feel for what everybody's doing out there and just support everybody. But, there are times I'll be doing 2 or 3 different streams at a time. I know Tom does that sometimes. I know Tom tries to be in 2 or 3 streams at a time. I've been a part of that with him before.
Well, I'm watching Star Wars.
Good for you.
I'm kidding.
No, I've seen Tom do 2 streams at once. It's pretty impressive. I always appreciate that. But anyway, thank you so very much for joining us, folks. I really do. I really do appreciate that. And sometimes you just run out of battery on your phone. But Terry Rose is here, and Terry Rose says, Genactic. Absolutely. And so we're off and running. I'd like to talk first about some of the things that Hollywood's doing right now when it comes to film productions. I mean, we have a lot of stuff that's always in development, a lot of stuff that'll be in development heck for a very long time, or development hell, since we're about 11 minutes in. I can use the HE double toothpicks. But where it'll get stuck for years and years and years with no forward motion. They'll bring in new writers, they'll bring in new directors, they'll swap out actors. And, there's that. And then there's also what Hollywood's doing to the properties that they own and control. For example, the first article I'm going to bring up in front of us is going to be one that I think you've all seen. Margot Robbie is going to be in a female-led Pirates of the Caribbean, and it will have lots of girl power. Now,
how can she be a female pirate if she's a landho?
I don't know. That's a very good question, Steve, and I think that's something that we should explore, but maybe not on this program. But Tom, do you think that part of the reasons that we're going to see more and more movies fail, and we've seen so many so far fail, and earn far less than they should have at the box office, is because of these types of marketing schemes that are being employed?
I don't think that's the main reason. I mean, the marketing schemes are, that's a weird question. Like, you have to be more specific on which marketing scheme, because
for example, the Harley Quinn and the Fantabulous Emancipation, and what, Birds of Prey and whatever the original title of that film was marketed and promoted by the stars within the film as, kind of a male bashing kind of film. And they, of course, it put a lot of Orange Man bad type of stuff in that, which I don't want to get into the politics of any of that stuff, guys. But do you think the marketing scheme, because that's a marketing scheme, is turning people off? And do you think that even though they continue to employ it, they don't realize that it's harming their movies?
Yeah. I think that's exactly what's going on. Because as soon as they market movies as, feminist movies or whatever it is, half your country is put off, right?
Yeah, at least.
Why not just talk about the story of the movie? The movie is storytelling, not preaching.
Sure.
And then you have the other half who usually don't support the stuff they claim to want financially,
right?
So you're already putting people off the product by doing this. Why not just talk about the character she's playing and what's going on in the Pirates of the Caribbean world, right?
Oh no, absolutely. I'm right there with you, Tom. What do you think? Because you and I see this every single day.
I think this is a stupid move on Disney's part. I think that I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but I mean, it feels like you're equating two different things here. Like,
Okay.
one side is the cultural bullshit we're dealing with right now.
Right.
The other side of this is they're getting rid of Johnny Depp. And
Yeah.
why is that?
Well, I mean, we know why. I mean, they he's been couched.
Right. It was a rhetorical question, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm, reading from this article, and this is simple because it's small. This is why I picked this version of it rather than one of the lengthy, whiny ones. It says Margot Robbie teased details of a female-led Pirates of the Caribbean movie during a recent interview. The original Disney movie franchise stars Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow, but according to speculation, it's set to be revived with a female-fronted spinoff. While promoting her new movie Dreamland, the 30-year-old actress was asked about the project, which is believed to be written by Christina Hodson, who wrote Margot's movie Birds of Prey. And we know how that turned out. Although Disney has not officially announced the movie yet, Margot told the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast it will have lots of girl power. No, it's too early to talk about it. Okay. That's weird. I love Christina, obviously. I'm not a producer on Pirates, so I'll sit back and kind of wait for the process, she continued. We're really, really excited at the prospect of adding, obviously, a very key female element to that world. Earlier this year, 2020, it was reported Margot would lead the new movie, which is believed to be a version with a new central story and characters as opposed to a spinoff. So there it is.
How is that not a spinoff?
I don't know.
Well, another thing that kind of can backfire is if Margot Robbie has to do interviews like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every damn time she's in the movie, people are going to associate her with that, feminist lady.
Yeah.
That's who she's going to be.
Yeah.
And then people, it's a Margot Robbie movie. We're going to get preached at,
Yeah. Yeah. And especially if it's the same writer, but it's I don't know. I mean, we're in a weird place because some of what Tom's saying is right. I mean, we're in a position now where we make assumptions based on the properties that are being presented and the manner in which they're being presented as to what we're actually going to get on screen. To say this isn't a spinoff is, I think that's kind of, I'm going to use the word that people are starting to hate, disingenuous, because, I mean, clearly she's not going to be playing Captain Jack Sparrow.
No, she's probably just going to play the daughter, or I don't know.
Tom, I mean, have you heard anything beyond any of this?
No, I haven't really been keeping up with the pirate stuff. But, yeah, I mean, as far as, like, other stuff goes, I mean, yeah, I don't think you guys are far off as far as your take on it.
Yeah, I mean, it says decent people don't like being singled out and don't like seeing others singled out. And when the Hollywood types go on about putting groups of people over other groups of groups policies, that's a turnoff. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I think you have so much backlash. I mean, even Bill Maher the other day was putting two and two together. And sometimes he does that. I mean, not often, but sometimes. And it's just one of those things. Jesse Miller, I just punched out. Yeah, everybody. I think a lot of people did because Johnny Depp is oh, I'm sorry. I actually really enjoyed Johnny Depp's portrayal of Captain Jack Sparrow. I mean, without Depp, I believe there is no film. You know what I mean? I mean, Bruckheimer picked him for a reason, right? Because I mean, this is really a Jerry Bruckheimer property. I mean, Disney obviously controls it, but I mean, it's all Jerry. So, I don't know. Can you have a Pirates movie without Depp?
No. Well, you can, but not in this franchise.
Tom, I know you're tired of talking about it, but I'm just curious if.
No, I'm just munching right now. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I just this is just one of those things where I'm like, I don't know. I mean, executive producer Saul Leibowitz, by the way, I love that name. Wasn't Penelope Cruz, Penelope Cruz, I can say that, a pirate captain in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies? Well, yes. Yes, she
Part
was.
3,
in fact,
wasn't it?
yeah. And
4.
I tell you, was it 4? I thought it was 3. I don't know. There have been a lot of those, but I loved all of those movies. And I think, as Tom pointed out the other day when we were together, I mean, think about all of the zillions of dollars that this franchise has made. There's been a ton. This has been a lot of money. You know, and I although you can say that they've been uneven because they have been, they're all of that's driven by Johnny Depp and his stardom. And they've had strong women the whole way through. Wasn't that, was it Keira Knightley who played Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Elizabeth is as strong a woman as you're going to get. And I think, did you guys talk about this on Toxic Film last night? I think you did, right?
The Johnny stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And Amber stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't do any of that. I don't really want to dive in down. A lot of people do that better than I do because they're more interested in the gossipy kind of stuff. But like Yellow Flash, you can't beat, or, you know, that Umbrella guy. You know, they both went deep on that. I wasn't even that invested, but what I'm invested in is good entertainment, and I think that we get held back a lot. But yeah, and I do like knee-high leather boots, so big fan of that. Decent people don't like to see other decent people be singled out or told that they're, well, yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's 100% right. I agree with that.
You know, that's exactly what it is, though. People are getting the identity politics in their face almost 24/7.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, watching a movie is a 2-hour mental vacation. And now it's put in that too, right? So you're never left alone from it. And people are getting fed up.
Well, more than a little bit. You know, like I said, I mean, if people like Bill Maher are out there calling it out, what does that tell you? You know, hey, Apex, good to see you, friend. Louise says, I have no interest in this movie after Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. Sorry, but after those, I won't spend money to see a movie with her as a lead.
Yeah, I have no desire. And the way, actually, I mean, kind of pissed at how Warner has treated this whole thing, actually. I mean, it's, no.
Aren't they? I mean, we can, you know, okay, so since we're here, and I don't have the article pulled up, and I know Tom could probably do it by heart. Why are they doubling down with Mira?
Your guess is as good as mine on that shit.
Because they don't want to admit that they were wrong.
So there's that, and it was because they were just waiting for this whole thing to finish up over in England. Yeah, like as soon as they, you know, anyway, it's fucking stupid. I mean, you're put in a position where, and I've said this last night, and I said it before on Toxic Femme, either you work with both of them or neither of them at this point. There's more than enough proof on both sides to prove that, you know, she was the aggressor. Yeah, he played his part too, probably. But you know what? Either you sleep with one or you don't sleep with either one of them in this case, if you're Warner Brothers. And same thing if you're Disney.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying, because there's all of a sudden these rumors going around that Disney's in talks with Amber for Fantastic Four. I don't buy it. She's too fucking old.
She's too old. Yeah. Yeah. I can't see it. I mean, I just can't. You know, as long as they don't make another
Disney
fan
doubling
force
down on the stupid. Yeah, I mean, it would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, well, they're doing it. I'm confirming some stuff about some Star Wars stuff, but
well, and I'm hearing the Krasinski and what's her face rumor again about Fantastic Four that's been going around.
Fan Four Stick.
Yeah, I think that
Fan Four Stick.
I think that's where the route they're going to go. So I think Rob will be happy about that. But
anyway, so I'm going to say that we can add 2 movies to the pile of future flops. One of them being obviously this Pirates of the Caribbean spinoff. Although there will be normies that'll go see it, it's just not going to make the money that they need it to.
Will they, though? Because the last 2 movies, did they really make any money?
I think they did all right. 700 million?
I remember the last one not doing that well. They were making excuses for it.
Wasn't it about 700 million?
I don't think the last one made that much. Maybe the one before it.
Remember,
I know that they hit billion twice.
Remember a movie called Banditas with Penelope
Banditas.
Cruz and
Yeah.
Salma Hayek, the Western.
Yeah.
That's two diversity women right there. No outcry, no preaching.
Yeah, before we were focused on it.
Yeah.
But before it was a thing.
And it was a fun movie.
Yeah. It's just weird. So I project that one probably going to flop, and I think that the Aquaman 2, because of Amber Heard, is going to have less audience.
It looks like the $1 billion one were on Stranger Tides, and
there were 2 of them that hit $1 billion.
Dead Man's Chest.
I mean, aren't we going back? Didn't this thing kick off in like 2003?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that first film earned like 678 million, something like that.
The first one, I'm looking at it right now. First one did 654. The second one did $1 billion. Third one did just under $1 billion. Yeah. Fourth one did $1 billion, and the last one only did 788. So it was
I thought it was 700 or so million.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's far from a failure. Although they did spend a lot of money on the film.
Yeah, that was a thing, and I can't remember. I think that was the one that Johnny got the $90 million payday.
He got a huge payday. Really well paid. But I'm sorry, he made that franchise. I mean, at a certain point, you're going to get paid, like, Vin Diesel.
I'm not going to bitch. Johnny Depp growing up was one of my favorite actors, right? Yeah. So, like, I've been one of those guys, like, I've always been able to pick out these actors, and I know Steeg's going to hate this, but I knew Will Smith was going to be a big actor. I knew Jack Black was going to be big. I knew, like, all these other people I've seen. And he just happened to be one of those people back in the day that I was really into between like Nightmare on Elm Street and 21 Jump Street. And I kept saying, this guy's going to make it. This guy's going to be going somewhere. And I've seen all his, Nick of Time and all his other random movies he did that nobody went to see back in the day. I saw all that shits in the theater. Gilbert Grape, all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, this guy's going to win an Oscar someday. He's going to be one of the biggest stars ever. And I was like probably one of the only people in the world who wasn't surprised by Johnny Depp. You know what I mean? Like,
I wasn't surprised because I'd seen him all the way back into television on 21 Jump Street, and I really enjoyed that show. But I was a very young person.
Well, at one point, most people would lead you to believe like that was the height of his success. I mean, him being a teen pinup model was like it haunted him for years. So he tried to do everything he could not to be known as that guy.
He did a good job.
Yeah, I mean that's why he did shit like Edward Scissorhands and stuff like that to get away from, this pigeonholed kind of teenage, angsty, whatever kind of roles that he was going to get offered at that time.
I don't see this. I don't see the franchise being successful without Depp. So there's problem one.
No, he is the franchise. This is a situation like with Terminator to where without Arnold, is there really a Terminator? And at which point do you say enough's enough? Well, and is it really a franchise? Yeah.
Should have been like 3 films ago, but I don't even want to go there. But
honestly, yeah, the first 3 films are the only ones I care. Actually, the first and the third one are the only ones that I really give a shit about. Yeah. I think the fourth one was okay. Is that the one with the killer fucking mermaids?
Yeah.
That one was okay. Yeah, that one was okay. I have not seen the newest one, so I couldn't tell you on that one. But I heard it sucked donkey balls. So
I didn't enjoy it. I've seen them all.
5 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's okay.
All I did is I watched the Paul McCartney scene, and that was it.
Well, I can say this: I project that film going to fail. Not just because of the dumb marketing that they're doing, and not because of the direction that they're going. Although that's not going to help.
Here's another good question, kind of going back to your original question: Is Margot Robbie really a box office draw?
No.
Is she really somebody you can build a franchise on?
No.
Proof so far has said no.
Who is an actual legitimate quote unquote movie star? Because you and I have had this conversation where we think celebrity is dying.
It's dead. I think Willie B. Mayer is right. The last true movie star was Will Smith. That was it. That was the last true movie star.
What about that last Hugh Jackman, though?
Well, yeah, he would be in that group. You had Hugh Jackman, Johnny Depp, Will Smith. That young upcoming group there. That's that last group that I could say is an actual box office draw. And you even get to the point where each and every one of those, including guys like Tom Cruise and stuff, and Sylvester Stallone and Schwarzenegger and all these guys who were sure things throughout the 80s and 90s, they were even falling off. So you had the new up and coming guys who just didn't really get a career. Yeah, and before that was Clint Eastwood, Sean Connery, those kind of guys, John Wayne, Keanu.
Yeah.
Keanu was a movie star way back in the early 90s though.
Yeah.
So like he's a leftover. But yeah, I mean,
Also,
yeah,
Will Smith, technically. I mean,
Will Smith didn't get big until 96. Like until 96 he was still the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Okay.
Denzel Washington.
80s.
Yeah, he was 80s. Yeah, but still, I mean, we don't have movie stars anymore. So when you have somebody that's going to carry
The Rock
something,
is probably the closest thing to a new movie star. And again, I brought this up before too. He can't carry a movie on his own. He's only had a couple movies on his own that were hits.
What was that? The Rundown?
No, like the San Andreas one did okay. And there was one other one he had recently. But otherwise, the only movies that he's ever been in that have been hits have been ensemble casts. It's always in something where he's, matched up with 3 or 4 other people.
Yeah. Yeah, he does better as an ensemble cast member. I mean, that's why the reboot of the Jumanji films worked.
Exactly my point.
Yeah. Accidental Tourist says, on behalf of normies, no, we will not see this movie. Yeah, you're not the only one. The boss is a normie. The boss pays attention to a whole lot of more intellectual things than I do. And she's like, I have zero interest in that. And amongst other things, I mean, when I want to get every man's opinion, I go to the boss. And of course, the boss is not a man, but you get my point. Aren't they obliged to chase a project that will make a lot of money now and put the politics behind profit?
Not anymore. It used to be that the star sold the picture. Now it's the franchise. It's all about the franchise. And they basically made themselves useless.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And Tina asks a good question. Do you think that Blunt and Krasinski would sign a multi-movie contract with Disney? It would cut into their production directing projects. I don't know.
That's the two I've been hearing about, that are because Blunt's been Fantastic Four,
Yeah, Blunt's already been in a multi-picture deal with Disney. I think 3. And the second one is this Jungle Cruise film that
who's to say Krasinski won't direct?
That's also true. I mean, probably the best actor director ever, and everybody's going to be surprised at me saying this, is Sylvester Stallone, in my opinion.
There's no surprise there.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people would be surprised. I don't think a lot of people realize that he's a director as well, but he's
awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What were you saying, Steve?
I was just saying Stallone is an awesome director.
Amazing.
In some cases, he might be a better director and a writer than he is an actor.
I think he's a better writer director than he is an actor for sure. I mean, it's very clear. And Flopping Hasbin says, yeah, normies aren't going to be interested. The IP has been run into the ground, and they're not interested in a reboot. This isn't Spider-Man or Batman. And I will tell you, I am sick and damn tired of them rebooting Spider-Man. But that's just me. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sick of Spider-Man and Batman reboots. I mean, how many times do we have to watch Batman's parents get killed and Spider-Man's uncle?
Oh, I've made the joke how many times now that the Waynes have probably been killed on screen more times than Dracula.
Yeah. Well, and Steve and I did that, I think, last week while you were otherwise occupied. I can't wait to see that interview, my friend. But or hear it, I should say. But the Accidental Tourist is right. I mean, think of the total box office when it comes to Pirates. It's a pretty decent box office for a film based on an amusement park ride. It's no Haunted Mansion, that's for sure. Haunted Mansion was the biggest flop I think I've ever seen.
It's not based on an amusement park ride. It's a ripoff from an old Lucasfilm video game in the 90s.
Oh, you mean the Pirates of the Caribbean game? I mean,
no, the movies? Secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, really?
It was a point-and-click adventure game about a guy who wanted to be a pirate, and then the female governor on the island gets kidnapped by ghost pirates. He has to get a crew together on a ship and use voodoo to find an island that nobody can find without it. That's the first pirate movie, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the same damn thing. And they were going to make a movie about it, but based on the game in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrote the script and all that, but it got canceled. And later on, the same script writer wrote the Pirates of the Caribbean script, the first one.
That's cool.
Disney was ripping off Lucasfilm even back then.
I will do a deep dive into that one, Stieg. Thank you. I will follow up on that. So, in Terry Rose is right. I mean that they Disney virtue signaled in their own attraction. They put in they replaced the redhead, which was an amazing and awesome scene that was there since the ride was developed by Walt Disney himself, and they replaced it with a female captain and a lot of dialogue that's cringe. So I have real problems with that. Want strong woman, Deputy Undersecretary Christian Avasalara, 22 days till Christmas. Can't. Okay. Let's see. Nick of Time was a great movie. What do you think, Tom? Is that a great film?
That was pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
Depp didn't really start having a couple of stinkers until he became a star, actually, if you ask me. Yeah, I knew Jack Black was going to go somewhere. Like, not like I said he was going to ever be like the world's biggest star. But when I saw him in like some of his earlier stuff, I'm like, yeah, this guy he's got it. There's certain people that got it. You can tell. I don't know. Maybe I should have been a casting director.
yeah. I mean, if you can spot talent like that, pick them out for roles and stuff,
Wait,
and this is a true statement. Yeah.
Believe it or not, yes, he does. I mean, I'm not saying he's used his talent well, but if you go back to shit like High Fidelity,
oh yeah,
he stole that movie. Like he totally steals every fucking scene he's in.
Yeah.
And he has the best lines in the entire film. So
yeah, and he's matched up against Cusack, who's no slouch. Yeah, Benny and June was good.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Actually had a dog named June after that movie for many, many years.
Let's see. I have never heard of this film.
Private Resort.
I'm
that was
going
when
to
he
write
made
that
after
down.
Nightmare on Elm Street. It was Porky's ripoff.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Private Resort. I'm writing it down.
It's different. It's not very good.
Okay. Well, hey, I like to. The more information I have, I always feel good about. Yeah,
if I remember correctly, it's about like a couple of college guys who go down to like Mexico or something for spring break or whatever, basically.
Yeah, and they get waylaid by Stifler's mom, kind of thing.
It's similar type shit. Yeah, it's a sex comedy.
Ooh, okay. Nano Reaper says Clint Eastwood and Sean Connery. Yes, excellent examples of movie stars, actual celebrities, people who drive people to the box office, not the other way around.
I think Clint Eastwood is pickled. Like, I think he's preserved. Like, he'll never die.
He's kind of leathery. I'll give you that. Man of War 665, neighbor of the... There you go. Neighbor of the Beast has become a channel member. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. That's great. You guys, I'm flabbergasted that you want to support the channel in those ways. My first deep dive video, I'll be coming here early in December. I have the subject well in hand right now, and I'm just working through a lengthy script. So hopefully I'll get that together over the holiday. No. It's going to be about something that is the reason that we're going to have less production costs in the future, and we'll talk about that at length going forward. But there's a lot out there, so we got a super chat here for $2 from the Clown World Review. Melissa McCarthy is in a draw. No, she's somebody I will actively if she's in a film I will actively decide not to go see it. I will go out of my way. Yeah, okay. Kind of stinky.
Did that make Steve laugh?
No, I don't think so. No.
Well, it's because she's a swamp ass bitch, Stieg.
This is an interesting question. George Clooney, I don't think is a movie star because you don't go. Yeah, but Russell Crowe may have been for a period of time. I don't know. Do you think either of them drive a box office? I don't think Clooney does. I don't think he ever did.
Clooney, again, is another one kind of like The Rock. I mean, even more so. Like, Clooney, I don't think has ever really had a big hit on his own that he could really attribute to Clooney. Like, maybe that Michael Clayton one or whatever it was that was kind of big for him. But other than that, I'm trying to figure something he's had that was a hit that he was the reason for it, and I can't think of one. That's what I said, Man of War.
Yeah. And then you've got executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, I think the movie star is redefined. Top Gun is more of a draw with Tom Cruise reprising his role. Absolutely. Actually, Tom Cruise is a legit movie star.
Well,
but he's
he's a leftover, but he can't even sell a movie anymore. I mean,
Blunt
he's had in the last 10 years how many flops?
3.
Yeah, he's right up there with Will Smith, man.
Yeah, Blunt would make a great Sue Storm.
That's what they're looking at. Or at least that's what I've heard.
Yeah, and I just... Stallone, yeah, everybody should respect Stallone. Clint Eastwood, absolutely. No, they are pushing Brie. She is not a draw. I don't know how anybody could say that at all.
So let's talk about Gremlins.
Okay, we'll get there. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I can get caught up and chat with you all day long, I think. But we'll definitely move along. Let me move to that article, because this is going to be interesting. Tom?
It's a whole big nothing burger. Here's what I think is going on.
Okay.
I think Christopher Columbus is... he's threatened to go back and get the rights, I think is what's happened here.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about getting the Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria.
Well, that's what he does. But no, like, because, you know, the old 35-year rule, he was the sole creator of the original Gremlins script. And he says basically, you know, a bunch of fluff crap until you get to the part where he's like, yeah, we want to find the best time to do it. We're working out the rights. That tells me there's something going on with the rights, which is weird because they do have the animated show coming next year, which I do have a concept picture of that just come out.
Okay.
Oddly enough. Here you go if you want to share that.
Oh, sure.
Real quick.
Yeah. I thought this would be a fun article to look at too. So,
but honestly, I don't see us getting a Gremlins 3 anytime soon unless this show is a huge hit.
Okay.
That's where we're at right now. And not only that, I think Chris Columbus is working on getting the rights back to the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this article kind of talks about, to be honest with you. He talks about he's got a script ready to go and that he wouldn't be using nearly as much CGI.
And I think that he's signifying that Joe Dante wouldn't be directing, he would be.
Well, he's also indicating here in this article that it's already in development at Warner's.
Which Gremlins 3 has been in development for 30 years, let's face it.
I know. That's what I try to tell people. When you hear something's in development, I mean, is it really? I mean, what does that mean exactly? Because you can get stuck in development hell for a very long time.
I knew something was up, though, when they brought in Joe Dante to work as an associate or consultant on the Mogwai series. Mm-hmm. So I know they're up to something. But I feel like that's what Chris is kind of signifying here is that he wants to direct. He's got an idea for a story, and he doesn't see Joe Dante in that equation. And to me, I think a lot of what made Gremlins was Joe Dante. And because you know, in the same interview, they talked to him about the original script. And how it was basically a hard R script and all that kind of stuff. Mm. And yeah, I'm just not so sure that Chris Columbus, yeah, he had the original vision, but the movie we know as Gremlins and Gremlins 2 are more Joe Dante and Steven Spielberg than they are Chris Columbus. Chris Columbus had nothing to do with the sequel, so.
Well, this is going back a long way, and I just want to confirm because I think you've said it multiple times. The original Gremlins film was supposed to be like more horror than anything.
Yeah, and that's right? What he talked about because Chris wrote the original script, yes, but then it was Steven Spielberg bought it, rejiggered it, and then Joe Dante was attached to it, and then so you had Spielberg's hand in it, and then Joe Dante throwing on his humor and dark humor and sarcasm and all that kind of stuff, and just Looney Tunes, esque. Three Stooges type shit, you know what I'm saying, yeah.
But that made it work. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's
what I'm saying. Without Joe, I don't think he can do it. I don't think Chris has the right chops for it. I mean, he's done a couple of Harry Potter movies. Did he direct? I think his big first movie was Home Alone, if I'm not mistaken, but he didn't write that one. John Hughes did. But yeah, I mean, Chris has got some chops, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not so sure he's right for Gremlins, even though he is the originator. And I know that's funny saying that, but you're right, Culture. Like, a lot of what made Gremlins was Joe Dante and Steven Spielberg's input.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been the same film. And I don't think they'd have made a second one. We needed the humor. We needed it to be lighter. We needed it to be something that you could get more people into. I mean, ultimately. And Terry Rose was still on the Flies comment, so it said raid. Yeah. So I thought, anyway, sorry. You guys are great in the chat. I wish we could, get to every single thing.
I haven't talked to you much about Gremlins. What's your feeling on it?
I like the Gremlins movies. I don't know too much about the third one though, if it's going to happen or not. But if the right people are involved, I'd watch it. It's there's a Gremlins behind him. Yeah, I'm on board if they have the right people, but I can live with there just being two Gremlins movies as well.
As a huge Gremlins fan, I totally get where you're coming from. It's like, do I really want another one that isn't going to live up to the first two? And that was kind of the same fear I had with Bill and Ted. I was like, but Bill and Ted is not even the same monster as Gremlins, pun intended. I mean, you have to really... I mean, I guess Chris gets the idea as far as like not going CGI, and that takes us back to the article if you want to go back there, Culture. Yeah. I'll let you take the article.
Real quick. I would absolutely not want CGI Gremlins.
I mean, and the goal here is to get back to more practical effects because they work. The CGI, even though now with modern projection technology and everything else that they're utilizing on these sets, you act better against something that's physical. And that's why I'm a big fan of, Baby Yoda being a physical entity or Spike being a physical entity. Like Tom has an amazing full-size Spike behind him, that he pointed at just a second ago.
It's actually Stripe, but we'll forget.
Oh, Stripe. I'm sorry, Stripe. I do that every time. Make me stop. Why do I do that? Stripe. But so, getting to the point where you're not doing a lot of CGI, I mean, isn't that hard? Practical effects are sell things better. I don't know. It's just easier to act against physical stuff. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong, Tom.
No, you're right. And the thing is you can use CGI in a way that enhances physical effects. And I got a great example right here. I hope you don't get a copy claim for this, but it's actually a commercial from like over 10 years ago. I shit you not.
Okay.
But it's an excellent commercial. It's actually pretty cool.
No,
It was a UK commercial.
I've seen this one.
Here's a great example of using, CGI to take out the puppeteers, right? But all the puppets are
physical. Yeah. And that's the way you're supposed to do things. Honestly, if you want to have a good.
I'll actually probably turn it down. You'd probably get hit for the music before you'd get hit for the
exactly
thing itself.
That was really impressive, though. I mean, with the exception of the obvious garbage can flail there that was clearly CGI, the rest of this is very well done, in my opinion. But this is physical stuff, And if this gets stripped, I'll just cut it out.
Yeah, sorry if it does. But...
Oh no, that's fine. I just don't, like I said. I mean,
this is completely licensed and everything. I mean, that looks a little crappy, but I mean, a movie you would take a little bit more time on. This is obviously a cheap.
Well, and we have better, but we have better ways of crafting articulated joints on practical effects. Exactly. I mean, a lot of
thing
this,
or two about that. So yeah,
I do. Yeah, so you change their articulation points. There's all kinds of stuff you can use And really, the CGI should be there to add textures and to take out, like you said, the puppeteers, the people that are controlling either the animatronic or the puppet or whatever you want to call it. But the physical assets, just, I mean, if you're acting against, a Mogwai, Gizmo, it's easier to do. Werner Herzog said it very, very recently in the first season of The Mandalorian. He says, use this because if you don't, you're a coward, because this is better. He said that
there is one place I will say, like Ken Jack Ben, I don't agree with you on CGI. I can always pick it out. But there's one area where I've been complaining lately where I feel like CGI should be needed, and that is in The Mandalorian. I love the idea of Baby Yoda being a physical puppet, but it looks too much like a physical puppet now. They have gone way over. Like, they need to articulate the hands or something, because there's too many scenes where it just looks like a Muppet.
Yeah. There's solutions to stuff like that, though. But
as far as like realistic CGI, the closest I've seen has been like the last Apes movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they were CGI, but there were some shots in there where I'm like, damn, that looks good.
Well,
I mean, we're getting there, but it's still an uncanny valley.
Exactly, and there's some steps, and that's part of the deep dive video I'm doing for my gold rewards members of the on the channel. Is going to be about some stuff that most people aren't aware of, and how they're going about with production things and stuff like that. With what Pod Racing Palpatine says here, the latest Dark Crystal looked fantastic, and of course they did. Of course,
I believe they did the same thing they did in that commercial. They took out a lot of the puppeteers and wires, and stuff, because they did the same thing in Happy Time Murders.
Yeah.
I know nobody saw that, but they did a great job with the puppet effects in that.
Yeah, they shoot you in a green. You wear a green suit, because I have one. You wear a green suit, and then you manipulate things physically, and you become basically invisible because you're just keyed out. So the background's still there. There's some production effects that are now going to be in widespread use that are going to help with that. Also with the uncanny valley stuff that we always have a problem with. Did we need 2010 when we had 2001? Must have seen 2001 2 dozen times. Still can't figure out the ending. Not simple.
The answer is 2010.
Yeah, it's still. Yeah, it was helpful. Those movies are a little dense. Toxic Man Flu for $5. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Toxic Man Flu, Tox TMF. The biggest problem with this show is too many macho men. Hey. How long will that song be in Culture's head now? For a while.
He didn't sing it right.
Macho man. I want to be. Okay, sorry. It's going to be there for a while. You guys are evil, but I love you all.
I know Ken Jack Ben doesn't like my opinion, but there's just something about CGI that just does. I'd rather take a few crappy moments of puppeteering over some really shitty looking animated CGI. And the problem is there's just so little good stuff to really show as far as like great examples, because I pick it out every time. It's just me personally. I don't know.
To be fair, there is some CGI effects that are amazing, that will fool you. One of the things that effects houses are very good with is explosions now. They're doing very good explosions, very real, because they're essentially controlling the speed of the explosion. They're controlling the gravity effects. There's a lot of physics involved in the CG, the way they're able to make it work out now. So, but physical effects are it's just easier to perform against. I mean, if you're an actor, you're a stunt person, whatever, it's just easier.
Don't get me started on the fucking turtles, Jesse.
Oh, no, wait. Alpha J, you're 100% right. Not only can they coexist, we were just saying, you can add textures to a scene, to a physical actor or animatronic, puppet, marionette, whatever words you want to use there, that will sell what you're looking at. I mean, you can do that with Predator. I mean, you can do that with a lot of different things. So I absolutely love it. I disagree. I completely disagree. Well, hey, that's what I love about this community. We can go back and forth for sure on most of it. I don't really want to go back to bumping action figures together. No, I don't like that. Like I said, I like there are so many different special effects that I enjoy. And digital effects artists are some people that I think are amazing. In fact, you're going to start seeing more and more of the people who do the special effects, that do the stuff that you're talking about, Ken Jack Ben, on sets more so than ever before. Not just supervisors, not just supervisor level, but actual people that are involved in the effects business. So, and that'll be part of a video I'm putting together. So, absolutely.
Well, and he basically answers why physical effects still are better. Says it takes 4 years. You can highlight it if you want.
I got it.
4 years to do proper animation. That's the thing. That tells me they're still way too far out from doing a lot of the stuff they've been doing, and that just is a good reason why they shouldn't do it. Then it's too expensive and takes too long. Then, if that's the case.
I've seen some animated stuff that is computer. Well, for example, so the show that you're talking about, this the Gremlins animation that we were talking about,
yeah,
that's going to be pretty cool. I mean, I liked that animation style.
I'm reserving my opinion until I actually fucking see a trailer, because this is something that I feel very strongly about, and they've got to hit a few points before I'm like, all right,
so.
And I know I'm a tough fucking customer. I hate digital shit. I do. I have hated, honestly, music and movies have been not the same since digital has gotten involved. For all the good things it has a lot of bad shit. Movies don't look natural anymore. They look weird because they've constantly got these weird fucking tints to them. And the way digital cameras shoot it as opposed to film cameras,
raw.
There's just no comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I'm not against doing film and then running it through digital to do the editing and all that kind of stuff. That part's fine. But just the actual look of digital still has not gotten to that point.
It's getting there.
I have not found any yet, Ken Jack Ben, and I've even had a special effects artist try to fucking trick me, and I still didn't.
Tom, when you and Tom, the other Tom, were together.
No, it was Gary. He sent me some comparison shit, and I picked them out every time.
Oh, wow, really? Okay.
Yeah. Right. And he even tried to trick me with some still images, which are tougher.
Yeah, you were on with the other Tom, and you were like, you talked specifically about the neck area on the deep fakes.
That was Gary. That was Gary.
Yeah, it was Gary. Okay, well, I thought it was Tom. I don't know why, but yeah, I mean, you can almost always tell they never get it right. Between the shading, the texture, everything else, you can always. I don't know what it is. It's just one of the uncanny valley stuff. All right, so we're gonna so we've already pinpointed 2 films. I think we're looking at a third one in a franchise that we all enjoy that I just want to bring to our attention. We don't have to visit with it for too long. It's the rumor that The Predator 5 is going to be a feminist film.
Wasn't the last one?
No.
Well, it had what's-her-face, the bitch that can't act and was with Mr. Packers.
The thing is, though, Olivia Munn was oddly enough one of the best actors in that movie, and that says a lot.
No, that actually just speaks to how bad that fucking movie was.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And just to go off of the whole CGI thing and put a button on it. No, I understand. There's a lot of things you can't do without it nowadays, and there's times where I've said there's no excuse. You should be using it, especially with dangerous stunts and things of that nature, but I just have this unnatural problem with it. It just doesn't look good to me, no matter what it is. But anyway, yeah. So on to this.
But see, here's where I'm going to agree with Ken Jack Ben. With explosions, with gunfire, and things like that, every element of the CG you can. I mean, you have
There's
to
certain things they've gotten good. Don't get me wrong, but it just. And I'm not a fan of a lot of green screen crap either. So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I can't spill the beans on this video because it's exclusive for the second tier membership. But eventually that video will make it out of the wild. I think I'm gonna keep those exclusive for a period of time, and then hopefully my members will agree that it's okay to release it to everybody else, because some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about, most people have no concept that is going on. But yeah. I don't know the answer to this, Robert Hammer, other than what this article says.
We're going to get women predators.
it says the film would follow a Comanche woman who goes against gender norms and traditions to become a warrior. And so, you know,
how is it all of a sudden when it's a woman trying to act like a man, it's feminist?
I don't know.
Quit appropriating our culture, bitches.
I just don't understand it. And it doesn't even matter to me. But we'll see. You know, I just don't. I don't see this film. There's so many things in development. I can't finish a thought right now because I'm so. This stuff drives me crazy. It does. How are you going to tell that story?
I just don't understand it. I mean, unless you bring in female predators into the mix.
Maybe.
In which case, why? And what purpose does it serve? I mean, is there even a difference between the two? Haven't we already seen female predators? Help me out here, guys, because I can't remember.
No.
I've only seen most of them like once, so I can't
remember. We haven't seen the female ones.
Okay. I mean, I guess it would be kind of neat, but to hang an entire movie around it, no. And we don't even know if that's what they're doing necessarily.
No, just they're making a powerful woman. Is that what it is? I mean, so there's a powerful woman that's going to face the predators. Does that make it feminist?
I guess. And again, that just has me going back to man makes it feminist. I just don't get that.
Yeah,
they got such a problem with men, but yet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and Ken Jack Ben's agreeing with you. Olivia Munn. So yeah, it was kind of feminist, I guess.
That's what I was saying. Like, she was the main character. I mean,
I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, this is kind of funny.
I don't know. I only watched it once, so.
Oh, this is a good point, and this is one of those things that I really wanted to talk about today. There's so many things in development, and none of it's going to get made.
No.
And one of the things I'd like to talk about is, and see if Tom has heard about it. Tom, have you heard about Minecraft, the movie?
I think I remember hearing something about it a while back, and am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised at all.
This goes all the way back. This started in development in 2013, kids. That's 7 years ago. And it's about a little girl in this Minecraft universe. And she's there to rescue it, the Minecraft world. So it's very interesting, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure.
What's she gonna do? Punch trees and stuff so she can get wood?
I don't know. But finally, and because we're running into that 1 hour window, so and I know that we tend to talk a lot after we get through our articles. I have one more thing, and this is something that actually. Stieg brought to my attention. Actually, Stieg brought a couple of things to my attention today. Thank you, Stieg. But this is pretty cool. If it's awesome. And it's been in development for a while, and I had forgotten about it. It is the Red Sonja film. Turning it into a franchise.
If it's done well, I'm on board, because I grew up reading, the Red Sonja comics. I was a huge Conan fan. I still am. If they do it right, yes. It has to be rated R, though, because you need beheadings and shit and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt she's gonna have her iconic look, because feminists will lose their shit. I mean, what do you think Anita Sarkeesian will have to say about that armor?
I don't care.
No, a lot of people do, though.
No.
They make a racket.
No. So originally, I guess this was going to be Robert Rodriguez directing. So it looks like it's now Bryan Singer.
Singer's fired. Yeah, see, he was fired in 2019. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. How old is this article?
Oh, well then, oh no, here it is. You're right. Singer's involvement was met with trepidation, and yep. So yeah, so he got fired. So then, dang it. Then I didn't read far enough into that to that paragraph before I said that. But so who's in charge of this? Do you know anything about it?
No, outside of just that it's been in development hell.
Forever.
Yeah.
There was an interview. I don't remember who it was. He was talking about this movie and turning it into a franchise, and the Expendables 4, which might be without Stallone.
Well, from what I heard, the Expendables 4 got turned into that comic book.
Really?
Yeah, it was going to be Expendables Go to Hell.
Oh, really? Well, that comic book is going to be very popular.
Yeah, I got it pre-ordered or whatever. Yeah.
Cool. That's good to know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, I found the article Steve was talking about also in Manly Movie. Gosh, I'm really loving this site. So yeah, Expendables 4 without Stallone. This is from 4 days ago. So, but where's this at? Oh yeah, here it is. It says the reboot of Red Sonja is also in the cards and will be turned into a franchise. However, it appears that Sylvester Stallone is less confident about the movie than Greenstein. Asked by a fan on Instagram what is happening with the fourth movie, Stallone replied, "Not certain it is happening." So there you go.
You can't do one without him.
I don't know how you would. Okay, so we just had this conversation around Terminator, right?
Well, yeah. Not only that, let's talk about it this way. Expendables is 1.5 good movies. Let's be real.
So far. Yeah.
It's really not much of a franchise. It should have just been a one-off anyway.
Yeah, two good movies.
I don't care for the second one, and the third one's the only good one, and that's only good just because of like Mel Gibson and shit. Yeah, I did not like the second one. The second one I found boring.
The third one is a joke.
No, the third one I like the unrated version anyway because of Mel Gibson and stuff.
But yeah, that's all those soy boys in it.
Well, there's that part too I don't like. And if that's what they do is they just spin off into that crap, I'm not interested. I mean, the second one, I guess I'd have to watch it again. I think I only watched it once. But I mean, even the first one barely held together. It was only held together by the fact that you get to see all these famous people on screen. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. I mean, in going back to this, and thank you, ETEP, for your $2 super chat. Says, "Hail Culture Casino, just showing some love." Well, thank you for the love. But going back to Red Sonja, I agree. Now that's boob armor.
Yep.
And Karen Prime says, "Boom Armor Row Round 2."
You know, to be fair though, Red Sonja in the comics, as she was portrayed in that picture you showed, she's actually wearing more armor than Conan.
Yes,
Conan's only wearing a loincloth.
And I'm curious, not to jump back to the Stallone thing, but I'm curious who owns the rights because I think he does. Otherwise, how could he go make that comic book?
Yeah. Good question.
Because I thought that was the whole point of the story behind the comic book was that they weren't interested in making the movie, so Stallone took the story to made a comic book out of it.
Update, Star Wars update.
Oh,
Pedro Pascal has decided to support Gina Carano.
I wonder why.
I'll put the
God damn it, I thought that was going to end with "Leave the Mandalorian."
Let's just confirm what we know already.
Right? No, I know. Oh, fuck, it's a giant freaking robot. But if they're actually writing a story, then it's different. But
I'll pull it up.
So if the outrage crowd wants her gone, she will now have to. They will now have to get him out too if they want to be consistent. Well, not that they're ever going to be.
All right, let's take a look at it. I've got it pulled up. And we'll burn through this one as expediently as we can. The Mandalorian's Pedro Pascal shows support for Gina Carano amidst campaigns to get her fired. Fun. Pedro Pascal has been one of the surprise emerging stars on the small screen. After breaking into the game as Oberyn Martell, R.I.P. on Game of Thrones, he parlayed that performance into his current role as Din Djarin, or as he's better known, the Mandalorian. But the hit Disney Plus show is wrapped in a bit of controversy over comments by fellow cast member Gina Carano. Pascal, quiet up until now on the issues, Jesus, these people are awful. Sorry. Has finally come forward to apparently lend support to Carano. He did so in a recent Instagram post praising the actress, as well as a recent episode. Okay, I'm not even going to bother with that. Pedro Pascal's use of the word indomitable to describe Gina Carano isn't likely something he posted lightly. It's widely known that Carano is wrapped into a bit of political and societal quagmire around some of the recent social media posts. Last week, posted a couple of messages that rubbed fans the wrong way.
She's the one, right? Yeah. Bullshit.
Fans, those people aren't fans.
No. The 200 voices of whininess.
I was going to say something, but I'll keep my mouth shut.
I know.
Canceled.
I know. One had to do with her aversion to wearing masks during the pandemic. She didn't have an aversion. She talked about the science behind it, and and another hinted at voter fraud from the recent presidential election, which there's plenty of stories about, and she didn't actually.
She just said that people needed to look into it to make sure it, check it out.
Exactly. Both landed like lead weights among the Mandalorian and it didn't. And petitions went up almost immediately. You mean like the 1 million people that want to get rid of Amber from...
I was going to say, how many people signed this one for her? And I'm curious if Pedro's got one and how many signed one for him.
Well, I'm sure it's vastly different. I'm sure Pedro's... They're like... He's got the one that would oust him way faster. But anyway, that being said, even with ramped up calls for her to be removed from the cast, almost no one on the Mandalorian cast or crew has spoken up concerning the messaging. Pedro Pascal appears to be the first to lend his support to Carano in this matter, with the Instagram post leaving very little room for interpretation around what he believes about her character. Sure, there are continued rumors that Disney is looking for a way to remove Carano and her Cara Dune character. No, there really isn't. Not with the stuff that's in development right now, but those look like only rumors right now. Yeah, made up bullshit. Sorry, I just cursed. For her part, Carano refused to back down from her comments. In fact, even leaning the other direction, essentially doubling down on the messaging in a recent reply to fans. Well, yeah, Pete, there are fans of hers that support her in all of her statements. Whether this ends up being the death knell for a character who'd been well received and almost praised in terms of strong female role remains to be seen. Pedro Pascal's post references the most recent episode of The Mandalorian, Chapter 12, The Siege. It was directed by Carl Weathers, who also has a role as Grief Karga. The episode put the show into the news cycle again for something, well, not at all complimentary. In one of the scenes during a shootout with Karga and Dune, a production crew member can be seen off to the side dressed in a very non-intergalactic outfit. I don't know how this is any part of the story, but all right. Whether Pedro Pascal's presumed support starts other in the cast and crew, others is probably what they meant to say. Starts others in the cast and crew to come out in defense of Gina Carano is anyone's guess. But the star of the show lending some backing to a fellow castmate would cause others to feel more comfortable doing the same. This story still very much has legs, and if fans continue putting pressure on the studio, could be in a precarious situation. They're not fans. Having to choose between fan outrage and the current cast is a tough spot. Pedro Pascal may have just made the decision more difficult. Yeah, I don't get it. Anybody care about anything I just read?
I don't even give a shit about the show.
I was going to say, since most of it's bullshit, no.
Yeah.
I just don't understand this, how he can get away with saying the shit he does, and she doesn't do a goddamn thing they're accusing her of, but yet they're trying to fucking lynch her. It's fucking ridiculous. And I'm not even sitting here trying to like simp for Gina or anything like that. I'm just calling it like I see it.
Well, they tried to do the same with Kurt Russell the other day for saying that he didn't
same
want to talk
thing.
politics.
Absolutely. And here's another thing, because I have pointed out Gina has gone a little bit too far one way, and I do hold her to the same, fire I hold any other celebrity. Mm-hmm. If you're going to go too far with your politics or your religion, then you need to check yourself at the fucking door. Mm-hmm. You are a trademark. You are a business. You are a corporation. Mm-hmm. You need to treat yourself like any corporation should. You hear me, Gillette? I've just brought this up last night again, and I'll bring it up again, I'm sure. You need to start realizing that the moment you start picking a side on anything, you're going to alienate part of your crowd, if not more than half. And you need to quit looking at us like consumers and start thinking of us like customers. Yeah. Because that's the biggest thing. I've heard the word consumer way too fucking much in the last few years. I'm sick of it. We consume food, yes.
Yeah.
But when it comes to games, movies, television, books, music, we are customers.
And that's the thing is Tom, you remembered, I think you may have been on whatever panel I was talking about this, but in going back a ways, McDonald's actually changed the way they described customers. They called them users of their food.
Yeah, consumers or users is a lot. As a term's used more than not.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, and that's first of all, it's not how the people that partake of your goods are like to be referred to. Number one, but number two, it's also it's also inaccurate. It's just you're right. You consume food, but aside from that.
No, we're a customer. It's a service. No matter which way you look at it. If you go to a movie, they're creating a service for you. They're creating entertainment. You pay the money. Their job is to entertain your ass. Right? Yeah. But Tom Conkle, speaking of that, you brought him up. He brought up a great point. It's like, what movie are you competing against? You're competing against Avatar. You're competing against Goodfellas. It doesn't matter because the audience is paying the same amount of money to see your movie that they paid to see those movies.
Yeah.
And they expect the same amount of entertainment or the Avengers or what have you.
Yeah.
No matter what it is you're making. So again, I reiterate, we are customers, not consumers. I don't eat video games, right?
You don't eat them?
No, I'm not Pac-Man.
Well,
where'd you go?
I had to collect the little rugrat. He was being annoying.
No problem.
But in all honesty, I don't. I just want to be entertained, and everybody in the building wants to be entertained, and we don't want to be referred to as consumers. Yeah. Yeah, we are customers. And you said the very right thing, and this is something I wanted to comment on. You said Gina Carano Incorporated, Pedro Pascal Incorporated,
Johnny Depp, Amber Heard Incorporated.
Exactly. They are their own business. If they're not set up that way, boy, are they in a world of hurt when it comes around tax time.
They are basically set up that way. That's what they are. That's what their production companies are. And, they're tax shelters.
If you realize that, if you legitimately realize that as that person, and you really believe you're a brand, you want everybody to buy your brand. You want everybody to consume it. If you're going to use that word, you want to be the Michael Jordan of acting because everybody buys tennis shoes. You want them to buy your shoes. So it's just, so you're right in every sense of the word. People who avoid the conversation of politics as an actor are the smart people. They're the ones that say, I don't have time for this. In fact, Kurt Russell got in trouble for this just a few days ago when he said that.
Well, what I love is the back and forth between him and Goldie in the whole interview too, because she almost represents, you know, a lot of that side. And she says a lot of the things that they believe. And that is, you know, no, we should be out there saying things and doing things. It's like, no, you shouldn't. And then you also have a lot of group of people who, the same thing with the pronoun bullshit. They want to know where you stand if they're going to support you. It's why should it fucking matter? You know, I thought you were supposed to be all about like equality and acceptance and all this bullshit. Why does it matter what the person who's entertaining you believes? As long as they're not killing somebody or diddling kids, it shouldn't. It really fucking shouldn't matter what God they pray to. It really shouldn't matter who they vote for. And in a lot of cases, they're not even American. That's what fucking I find hilarious. Yeah. You know, and that's why I love when like Ricky Gervais and stuff call this shit out all the time.
That was so great. That was,
you know, it's just like
beautiful moment.
Come on, folks. You entertain for a fucking living. You're basically a fucking clown. And Kurt had it 100% correct. You are the court jester. You do not get to have the right to go out there and make fun of these powerful people if you're going to go out there and you're going to promote them.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that you are in any way, shape, or form, you know, gonna support me as a customer if you find out that I may not follow the same God or politics or whatever as you. And that to me turns me off as a customer.
Yeah. Yeah. And it turns it's not just you, Tom. I mean, they're actively turning off a ton of folks. I mean, literally tons and tons of humans are not can you afford to lose half your audience if you're making a $300 million movie? Can you afford to lose the half that's going to put you into a profitable margin? No.
Well, let's even put this into perspective. Kurt Russell is not an A-list actor anymore. He's not somebody who can sell a movie anymore. You can't put him as the star and expect him to be the only thing that's going to sell the movie. He's not a vehicle guy, right? But what he does have is I don't know one single fucking person that I've ever met that has said, you know what, I don't like Kurt Russell. Not one fucking person. Why? Because he doesn't go out there blabbing bullshit. He doesn't go out there, you know, doing a lot of the stupid shit that people like Brie Larson and all these other people who do have divided fan bases among them. And I mean, I would think that would be the last thing you would want to do with your career. Like Mark Ruffalo, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You're a likable guy. Shut the fuck up. You know, just like quit trying to use your fucking platform. You know, just because you have this status does not mean you need to go out there and fucking preach to everybody.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it this way. I'm going to say that we talked about at least 3, probably 4 films today that would all fail. They will likely fail if they get past the development process. And largely because of the first thing I addressed right off the bat with the Margot Robbie thing with Pirates of the Caribbean, which is you're marketing it in a way that is exclusionary of half of your audience. In my opinion.
Yeah, if that's the question you initially asked, then yeah, that's totally my answer, because that's what we're dealing with here. That's what we've seen with all these movies that have come out in the last few years. That's where it seems like Disney and all these places are going to continue to go. And even though people thought we were on a road, you know, that was headed in at least a better direction, that road's been closed off with mostly peaceful protesters.
And burn it with fire.
Yeah.
As Canadian,
and I
don't
blame
care.
everything on that. I do. I really do. It's the media's fault.
You know, Dweez, this is the truth. I want to hear about the project that they're doing. That's what I want to hear about. I don't want to hear about the political vein that it's in. You know,
not only that, I shouldn't be hearing about all their charity work. You know, if I see pictures of any of these guys or gals at a fucking children's hospital, it should be because it leaked out like Johnny Depp's usually do. Not because they're making it a fucking photo op like Brie Larson.
Yeah, well, she's doing it to the tune of a YouTube channel and videos and stuff.
Well, that's the thing is anybody who's doing true charity doesn't go out blabbing about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not only that, it's like if you really give a shit about the world so much, then just put your money where your fucking mouth is. You've got millions of dollars. If you really truly care about the environment so much, put some money into a program. If you truly think that the police force is whatever without getting too much deep into that bullshit, put some money in a program. Nobody is stopping you from doing that. You're the one with the platform, the money, and the power, so you say. Then fucking do it.
Yeah.
Quit fucking telling everybody else to fucking do it. Quit being Bono and say, well, we need to all change and do this and that and the other. I'm the one who's okay, though, because I got a fucking jet of my own and I'm wasting tons of fuel and resources, but fuck you. You know, no, fuck you. Seriously. I'm so sick of it.
He pays for his own carbon offset, Tom.
You know what pays for my carbon offset? My farts, all right? So, like, whatever. I don't really care. That's about how important I find, you know, I really, really don't give a shit what Ellen thinks about the fucking pandemic. I really don't care that she thinks she's in a fucking prison. You have no clue, bitch. No clue. You got no clue. Just like any of these fuckers. Kurt has an idea. You want to know why Kurt has an idea? He's seen the top and he's seen the bottom.
Yeah. Well, and he
knows he's here because, and it was brought up. He wasn't Disney's last words, but what he was Disney's last note left on his desk before he died, and it was simply his name. Yeah,
and he was right. I mean, in fact, Kurt Russell is one of those people that would reach out to other child actors and their parents to try to help them steer clear of some of the problems. And Tom can talk about this as well, that revolved around young actors in Hollywood for a very long time. So he was one of the good guys.
Kurt's a good old boy.
Yeah. And a good.
But you know what?
Kurt Russell isn't a narcissist like the rest of them. He's normal.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a good old boy. He's a typical red-blooded American guy.
Yeah.
About as average as you can find.
Well, and that's what we need. I mean, we need average again. We need normal people again. Ed Brewer's right, though. The $1 billion movie's probably dead. I don't see that happening again in the near future. I won't say my lifetime, but in the near future, I don't see it happening. Even with the sequels to Avatar coming up. Boy, man, if I was Cameron, I'd be flipping out right now. With
Karen, I'm doing like the South Park impression, so it's like way far off. And I believe it or not, as Irish as I am, I do like a really shitty Irish accent. I know it's funny, but it's not.
This would be awful news, Cavatina, Jay.
What the fuck?
I can't see that happening.
Please no.
Unless this new one's going to be like a prequel. Is that what they mean? But you said, I don't remember how they worded the whole it's not a spin-off bullshit. But
I don't know. And I would not be excited about that in any way. And yeah, I know you're right. It is definitely killing the chat shows. Yeah, it did. I mean, that's why Late Night's dying. It's the video I did yesterday. I mean, they can't get out of their own way. They all make the same jokes. There's no originality there.
I mean, the nighttime shows always used to lean into the politics, but it was they did dad jokes about politics, though.
And creative stuff. They were creative. But they were also, that monologue, that 2 to 4 minute monologue, was also, powerful in a different way. And the rest of the show was better. I mean, you got legitimate interviews with people in the entertainment fields. You got musical performances. You got unique opportunities to see people do things that you wouldn't normally see on television. The variety element of that is missing now. I mean,
but Trump is right, though. He's like, when he says, what are they going to do without him? Like, really, you look at, like, Colbert's fucking opening monologue. It's 5 minutes of Orange Man bad. And I'm not even going to sit here and say what side I'm on the fence here, but it's like, come on. You got to find some different fucking material. Like, I really, really don't know how to stress this enough. And it's the same thing with Kimmel and what's his ass Fallon or whatever over on the other side, too. They all do the same shit. It's the same shtick.
Yeah. But it doesn't change. And it's like everybody's doing a very poor imitation of Jack and Johnny, and the last person that had any like individuality, in my opinion, would have been Dave. Dave could have been one of the greats, but for many reasons, he didn't get quite to this. But he didn't get quite to the level of Jack and Johnny. It was close. And Jay Leno I don't know.
Fuck Jay Leno.
Is he
Jay
part
Leno's
of
a goddamn fence-sitting bitch.
But is he? I mean, is anybody ever? Do you think about him anymore? I mean, a lot of people don't. I
think about how much of a little bitch he is.
Well, okay.
I hate him. I have always fucking hated Jay Leno, and for what he did to not only Johnny but David and everybody else in that whole scenario, he can go fuck himself. Honestly, I've never liked him. He's a dick.
Yeah, well, Terminus S said something brilliant for $5. If Mark Ruffalo was in his bathtub or in a swimming pool when he was naked in that video, he'd be a water Ruffalo.
Go Terminus S.
Steve,
what do you think? What do you rate that one, Steve?
3.
Oh, Steve's in a bad mood today.
Wow.
No, Terminus has had way better puns than this.
Not only that, after what Jay Leno did to Conan, he can suck a dick too. Conan's got more fucking, and I don't even think Conan's that great, but he's got more talent in his pinky than fucking Jay Leno does.
Well, this is interesting. Nano Reaper's right. Lily Singh killed Late Night. She didn't help it. Although she is consistently beating Conan, but she didn't help it. Conan is a victim of his own move, to be honest with you. Going over to TBS, a channel that's really dying, that Warner can't even find a way to part with. Right now, they're trying to sell 5 different channels. They can't.
No, that's what I think is funny is they say he quit.
He didn't. Oh, Conan?
Yeah, bullshit.
No,
they fired his ass.
Yeah, no,
he got shit for ratings. Yeah,
his contract goes through June 2021, and then it'll end, and then he will start up that monthly streamer for Warner. So he's not moving off of Warner. It's just
no, but they're ditching his show.
Well, what? Yeah, but they don't have anything to replace it with. They
don't need to. They never planned on. That was, dude. He got sucked up into a bad deal. Bad deal is all it was. Man, Warner was never going to do anything with him. TBS. Who the fuck thinks of late night TV when they think of TBS? You know what I think when I think of TBS? Beastmaster 2.
Yeah.
Red Sonja. Fucking Carl Co. movies. Shit that, like Death Wish 3. That's what I think of when I think of TBS. You know what I mean?
I like Carol Co. movies.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think of late night television. I don't think of fucking, cutting edge humor, because they also tried bringing on like comedy and other shit too. And it's just like, fuck that. Be
Conan,
what you were.
I think Conan was part of that writing staff for like 8 years.
On what? SNL or Simpsons?
No, Simpsons.
Simpsons? Yeah, he was a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years for SNL. So, and I think that's how he made all the connections with Ross.
Well, yeah, that's what they did. They're like, this guy's funny, let's give him a shot. Because it just was like one of those random things that, and I think it was, what's his face? Dr. Evil himself, Lorne Michaels, was the one who pushed him, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Lorne launched a lot of careers. Jeffrey Turner, I think Jon Stewart was really good. The creation of The Daily Show by that female comedian, I always forget her name, but she created that, and then Trevor Noah was running it into the ground. But I think Jon Stewart's okay. I think he's like he would have been like if Seinfeld were going to host a show like that. It's kind of how I looked at Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart's good pedigree. I mean, he's probably the last real late night host. Honestly, he kind of probably got screwed. He should have been the one offered a big spot after the big guys kind of left, like Dave left and all that shit. Like, he should have definitely been in there instead of Colbert or fucking Fallon or whoever.
Yeah, and this is a true statement, Bad Bunny. Cable is dead. They just don't know it yet. Yeah, actually, Jeffrey Ross said as much.
That's what I was saying before. Like, even the cable channels don't even resemble what they even claim to be anymore. I knew it was over when like MTV quit playing videos. I know everybody said the same shit, and when you got TV Land playing fucking movies, and they're not even movies of TV movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what the fuck is Beetlejuice doing on fucking TV Land at 3:00 on a Saturday? But it is.
But you missed all the. I mean, I missed those reruns. You know what I mean? The stuff from the.
That's what I'm saying. They don't play half that shit no more.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. That's the kind of stuff that I miss. I mean, you know, it's just one of those things. It's just a weird place to be in. And you know what, Philip, not knowing who Lily Singh is okay. Lily Singh was a YouTuber of some success, that got a television late night show that performs very
Why?
badly, and it has paid people that are paid seat fillers, and there's a whole thing around her. She's a interesting thing. For a lot. Anyway, we're going to wind down. I have a surprise for all the people who are members, except for those that recently joined today. I have created some credits that you guys are all in. Hopefully they play well. We'll see. John did retire, and John was awesome. Yeah, Mr. Tickle Trunk sent us a super sticker. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. I really appreciate you being here, my friend. Mr. Tickle Trunk is a massive supporter of the community, and of course, he's like, I love you, Fox. I love you, Fox, with hearts. I love that Canadian super sticker. Thank you so very much.
Is it the one that's farting hearts?
Yeah. I don't think it's farting. Is it farting?
It looks like it to me.
I just think it's cute. So.
Pooping, farting, hearts.
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't want to get into this right now, but I agree with you. So,
Amber Muffin.
Yeah. I never heard of Lily Singh. Well, then good on you. Keck is waving goodbye to us. Adios, amigos, everyone. Later, all. And thank you also very much for being here. Tom, you got anything going on you want to tell people about before we check out?
We're working on some big interviews.
There you are.
Can't say what exactly. I'm supposed to be. I guess I can say this. I'm supposed to be talking to Ed Sullivan again. So hopefully we'll get to talk to him about more than just Bill and Ted. We'll talk about some Men in Black. We'll talk about some Super Mario Brothers, stuff like that. The other one I can't really say anything about, but other than that, I've been just feeling like shit, so I've been out of it. So,
dude, go take a nap. Go get a nap.
I might.
Yeah. Steve, you got anything going on? I know you've been grinding on making content. You're providing content for people.
Oh yeah, I just upload.
All that hard work downloading and uploading.
Yeah. Old obscure. Well, I'm compiling old stuff that people seem to like. So it's just cheering people up, right?
Yeah. I love that. That's my favorite content. So go and check out if you need some levity, check out Steeg's stuff because he really brings you.
I might have to take my computer and hook it up to my big TV because I may or may not have in my possession the 4K 77. For those who know what that is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude! I need a copy of that badly.
Thursday, I'm doing the weekly coffee chat with Alora. OG Star Wars. We're talking about Star Wars comic stuff, and then probably movie talk with Christy on Saturday.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have one this week.
Yeah. I think we're good this Saturday.
What year are we on now?
2001.
Shit year.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be fine. Anyway, thank you all so very much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be on Trekking on Tuesday over on Wes's stream tonight, where we watch good Star Trek. And we don't get copyright claims. Pretty amazing. I'm not sure what's on the menu tonight. And I'm actually kind of scared because if I remember, it's something that I might not approve of. But thank you all so very much for being here. On the way out, I always like to say the same thing, which is take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene, very good hygiene. And until next time, bye.